what if so what's up, everybody? We just started the live stream on Facebook and YouTube and all of the places. We're in the metaverse. We're all in the metaverse together. And so like the future of NFTs is the conversation. And we're really excited. I'm really excited about this because like, what if you have an NFT to unlock the door to your house one day? Who knows what Elon Musk is planning in the software of a Tesla in order to basically unlock your, like, what happened? I don't even know. Like, what would he even unlock in a Tesla? So I'm really excited. We'd love to have more people join with us. So Cynthia, if you want to, this is going to be a conversation.
Yeah, rally the troops.
Yeah, we gotta round up the troops. This is not necessarily a like, hey, just come and listen to us share things that we think. We would love to have a discussion around this. So come on up, everyone. It's going to be a really fun time, though. And if you're watching this on the stream, you can comment on Facebook. You can comment on YouTube, and we can see those comments. So we would love to hear what you think the future of NFTs are. And Eric and I are both trying to multitask right now, where how can we share and keep people entertained for the first part of the live stream, but at the same time, like, tweet it out, comment it in Discord, all of those kinds of things. All right, I'm going to comment in this Discord that I'm in.
Yeah, we're super excited. Sean's amazing at helping us put some of the stuff together, and just have fun with talking about NFTs. Yesterday, we got like some amazing.
Wait, hold up, Eric. Hold up. You got to unmute yourself on Twitter so that Cynthia can hear you.
Oh, you are totally right.
There we go.
Yeah, yesterday we got some raving compliments of Sean's skills. We really didn't know that people really, I mean, this is like less than 5% adoption rate around the world of NFTs, MetaMask, Ethereum, crypto. I mean, I would say crypto is more, NFTs even less, just because it's like been a culture, invading culture over the past 12 months. So it's just like a lot of people really just need help how to do a lot of the basic stuff, a lot of the most simple stuff that we thought is simple, but really there's so much use for it and need for it. And so, yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, Eric, how the future of NFTs, like we can sit here and we can even dream and scheme together, because the other cool thing is, like, a lot of us know NFTs as JPEGs, so as like a picture. So we could screenshot this image, and I'm kind of tempted to right now, like, take a picture and then mint it as an NFT. It's kind of like a stamp in time. It could be a real life one. But not just that, it could be music, right? Like the different forms of NFTs, because even on OpenSea right now, if you go to OpenSea, you connect your MetaMask and you go to mint your own NFT. There is a button there where it's like, okay, here's the accepted forms. So there's images, there's music, so like a music file, there's movies, and then there's also the last one is like a GIF. You can do like an animation. And what if Disney for some reason decides to take one of the very first, like, if you ever watch like a Disney movie now, it's like Mickey Mouse, and he's kind of like whistling on the steamboat, and Mickey Mouse is all of a sudden he's like steering the steering wheel. What if Disney turned that into a NFT, and not even a collection, just like a collector's item? And what if they like release things from the vault like they do, and all of a sudden they put it out there for everyone to collect? Like, I would be a huge fan of, like, I'm already a huge fan of Disney. My wife and I, we've got Disney Plus for our family. So to buy like an authentic minted by Disney one of one collection, that would be pretty cool. Those would sell for like massive Ethereum. And then what if Disney, like, I mean, here's the thing about NFTs in the future is, it could be that we all of a sudden shift from having Apple Wallet and a credit card wallet and carrying around a purse, and then all of a sudden we move to, hey, now we've got these just a wallet that we keep on our phone. And what if we walk up to Disney World one day and they just ask for our MetaMask wallet, and that's where we keep our season pass for the year, and they change the artwork every year? Like, that would be kind of crazy, right? Well, that's one future that I see for NFTs. And so here's the interesting thing is, I think we were joking about this on our first Twitter Spaces, and this was last week together, which was a lot of fun. And it might have been not to give you any FOMO, Eric, but it might have been the Twitter Space that you missed, and you're like, dang, I'm on a date right now, I can't make this one. But I was kind of joking with people, and there was a back chat that was happening, and people were like, oh, this is the movie. It was from Good Will Hunting. And it's that scene in the movie when Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and his friends, they're leaving somewhere, or they're leaving a bar. And it was when Matt Damon had met like what the woman who becomes like his girlfriend in the movie. And he's walking by the restaurant, and there's the guy that was a jerk that was trying to prove to him like how his friends were dumb, kind of thing. And Matt Damon like looks, what if it was like this clip where Matt Damon like sees the guy, walks over to the window where they're sitting there eating, and he goes, hey, like, do you like apples? And he's like miming it through the window. And he's like, the other guy's like, yeah. And he's like, well, I got her number. How do you like them apples? And he like slams it to the window. Like, that would be a really funny thing to do if someone were to take that clip and turn it, like if the actual, like, I don't know, Time Warner or 20th Century Fox or whatever those Lionsgate or one of these things would do, that would be a really cool thing for an NFT if they wanted to sell it to collectors. And then what if you were an NFT holder and Matt Damon all of a sudden would say, hey, if anybody is an NFT holder from this old movie, I'm going to meet you at this bar in Boston, and we're going to have a drink together. Like, and it's like a private bouncer. He's checking for MetaMasks at the door. Like, that would be really fascinating to me if they could do that. So I know that as far as Kingdom Warriors goes, Eric, number one, if anyone's listening to this, we'd love for you to tap on the Kingdom Warriors profile on Twitter. And if you're not already, to join the Discord, because we are going to be doing some really, really cool things in the future. But have you and the team thought about, I know, of course, like, we're going to launch the OG is coming up, the 888. And then after that is going to be after that is the public mint, right? So it's the whitelist is the 888. Is that correct, Eric? Don't forget to unmute on Twitter.
Yeah, that's correct. So we have 888 Genesis, and then we're gonna do a full launch in February, March, 8,000. And what was the second question?
Well, so then after that, it's gonna be 4,000 or 8,000.
8,000. So 8,888, 4 8s total.
Nice. I love the numbers.
March.
That's really smooth. So then I'm curious, have you and the developers thought at all? Because I know that, like, you guys, the part of the roadmap is like a book. You're talking with people, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say like the movie word, but even possibly turning this project into a movie long term.
Yeah, so we've pretty much released that we're going to do a book through this. I don't know if this is going to be one of the first NFTs to do a feature film. I know I've seen some Bored Ape do some animations and to do some after the fact, and some of the holders got together, but I haven't seen anyone actually do a movie with the NFT launch. So we're excited to test that out and see about doing the movie and a book. And we actually got our lore writer today, if we want to have Jessica talk about some lore, if she's not driving or anything. She hopefully can share some on lore and tonight.
That would be dope. I would love to have Laura come up and share the lore if she wants to. And by the way, if you're listening to this is not just a dialogue. We'd love to have a conversation. What do you think the future of NFTs are? And like, Eric, so I used to play. I mean, you were dropping on me the other day that you had to get rid of your PlayStation and your Xbox, right? And you were telling me Skyrim. I used to play Skyrim also, and I used to play World of Warcraft. And so, of course, like Kingdom Warriors is going to be P2E, like play to earn. It's going to be a game in the metaverse that we get to play, which basically means online to anyone. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to have VR goggles or anything like that. It can just be online if you're talking about the metaverse. And so I'm curious with games because like in World of Warcraft, we used to like get together and people would like go questing to try to find these like rare drop items. Have you guys in the team talked at all? And I don't know if you're allowed to share this. So I'm just coming up with this kind of stuff right now. I feel like we should talk about this before. So I don't keep saying stuff I'm not allowed to. But have you thought at all, like, what if there was like a rare sword that envoys had to go and battle for, or like a bag that had NFT, like a rare NFT drop if they defeat a boss? Is there any kind of stuff like that that you guys are thinking about, dreaming about in Kingdom Warriors?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we definitely are thinking about this different rare stuff. A little bit about our development background, or and our developer's background. He's worked with Sony, Disney. Well, I think with Marvels, he was with our Star Wars Rogue One VR experience. And when he was like a young adult, he launched a game that got 100,000 downloads, and he's just kind of like a kid type genius, or he was a kid type genius. He's an adult now, has kids, but just yeah, just anyways, he's really like helping us think next level on what's possible, what we can build, and just giving us more vision for that. So yeah, just be expecting a lot of Easter eggs, different things that you could find, swords. Right now, one of the cool things we did with NFTs is we made a 3D digital key, which you can go see in our Discord. And it's this amazing, like Hollywood style key for Kingdom keys that you can win, that we actually gave away. We gave away these keys, and they came with an airdrop of our Genesis mints. So this is something cool how we can give back to the community. We just reached over 2,000 members today. So shout out to 2,000. Yeah, I wish we could have more of our community join us tonight. But anyways, we we gave out about 18 Kingdom keys, and with those people who won those, they're going to be able to mint a free NFT on the end of this month, end of January.
Gotcha. That's really cool. And the interesting thing about, like, I mean, when I saw that Kingdom Key and I heard the word, I don't know if anyone else but me played Kingdom Hearts. If you remember that game on, I think it was PlayStation 2 with, it was by Disney, where you had the Keyblade, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And yes. So that kind of, it's just kind of like a nostalgic feeling that it brought up for me. And so here's the interesting thing is I remember, like, when I was in college, I mean, I spent, I don't even know how many hours playing these games like Halo and stuff like that. So is there any talk that you've heard of, Eric, as far as in the gaming world? And shout out to John. What's up, man? John, if you want to come up to the stage and talk with us, I know that you could talk about the future of NFTs with us. But is there any talk in like the gaming world, like, how would NFTs integrate even into like a Halo type game? I'm really curious. Like,
yeah, that's a good question. I think one of the gaming companies that are doing it is a guy named Ari with Big Time Studios. That's actually a really good one right now that I think is going to do pretty well. That has a lot of big wigs from a lot of different gaming studios that are working on it, a lot of VC capital. And I don't think anyone's ever really done it with a big time studio game. I don't think it's ever really been done. So I mean, if you look at it's almost like with the new technology that is Web3, that is basically all this new blockchain technology where you earn crypto through a game. Usually people are paying, I mean, these Halos, the Call of Duties, it's $60 every year. There's a new edition, there's a new Marvel, there's a new everything, and everyone's paying to watch it, paying to play it. So now we're doing something called we're paying play to earn, where we're giving the community money, we're giving the people where they will play the game and they earn funds through crypto and through a smart contract. So that it's really because of the new technology, because the new advances, because it's helping the community. It's more about the players. It's not about the big corporations selling $65 games to the kids, and their parents are putting on credit cards. It's like it's just this whole new wave and revolution with gaming, and because of that, the technology is advancing in a way that you it's hard to put that into $100 million game, and maybe that's why the games are $10 million, $50 million, because that's why they have to maybe charge that much. But so time will tell to see, how good we can make these games with while letting people earn, $1,000 a month playing them, $2,000 a month. So that's really where people are really finding that out right now.
And I think that that's that's one of the cool things because I remember like playing Sonic the Hedgehog when we were growing up on like Sega Genesis, and you'd collect those coins. Like it's interesting, and then like even within the advanced games, I keep going back to World of Warcraft. That's probably where I have like the most experience with something similar to what's being developed now, because you would get like this coin that would be in the game, and then you would spend it on certain items in the game, but there was never a way, unless you like sold your account or you worked some kind of black market deal. It just seems like it's more legit and it's a safer way for people to actually make money in the metaverse by actually gaming, other than like streaming for people. And I've even heard that there's some people that are in Indonesia or in Thailand that are making like life-changing amounts of money through some play to earn games, which is really cool. Like that's really cool that you can create something that's going to allow someone to be to change their life, to change their lifestyle, to maybe they're able to use those funds to be the first person to go to college. And for example, like you could um like if someone were to play the game enough within reason, right, with boundaries, that could be their full-time job is playing the game, and then they could even like support other people. Like a guild of people could come together and have fun. And there was an interesting guy. There's a guy named Jack Butcher on Twitter that I'm a fan of. I think he's on other things other than Twitter, but that's where I kind of know him from. And he runs a platform, a Twitter handle called Visualize Value. I highly recommend it. Just some cool stuff there. And he was basically comparing like people playing games with people that are doing work on their computer. And he said both of them are basically playing games. And he said it in this way that made me go like, huh, I never thought of it that way. He's like, shout out to the people that are actually playing games rather than the people that are playing work games on the computer all day long. And so I think it's interesting, like the future of NFTs. Like I was brainstorming this earlier, as I was saying, Eric. What if, like my wife and I, it's kind of fresh in my mind. We recently bought a house, and so technically, the way that things could work now is we could potentially have a smart contract in the future where it's a physical piece of property that is listed in the smart contract. And then the person at the other realtor's office, they sign their paperwork and we sign our paperwork, and it executes a smart contract where our funds are transferred directly into their account, and their deed, which could be an NFT, like the deed to the house. Like if the government ever got involved with this kind of stuff, then you could potentially like sell a house and do a real estate transaction. And I'm not talking about just like in Decentraland or in Sandbox or things like that. I'm talking about like actual like physical property. You could sell a car to that light. Like you could get a driver's license with an NFT in the future. And so I think it's really interesting where we're at right now, because with this being what you keep saying, like less than 5% adoption for crypto and NFTs. I mean, how many government officials are left out of that? Also, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's super interesting to think about. And
Yeah, we
so,
have some cool
go
people
ahead.
too. And even the quadruplets, we got I'm the quad father. He's I think that's my friend Justin, and then we got Nick, if Nick wants to share. You guys come up and share, but I'd love to hear even Justin's been helping some projects do some cool stuff. If Justin, you want to come up and share? Even yeah, what do you guys think about the future of NFTs? What do you see happening or potential with the technology? How to leverage it? How to leverage it to better humanity, help people, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting too with like a lot of, so we for example at Kingdom Warriors, we're using the funds raised from selling an NFT to fund a certain project. And so I'm really curious as to when a lot of nonprofits that have been in existence for a long time, like when is, well, so for example, like when there's a major hurricane that happens and the Red Cross like partners with the NFL. And during an NFL game, a lot of times on ESPN or on Fox or something, you'll see like that red ticker scrolling across the bottom that says, text this number to donate $10 to the Red Cross, right? Well, what if you did that? What if it was like an NFT type transaction and you texted a certain number and all of a sudden the Red Cross sends you back, like it creates a smart contract. Hopefully, like gas fees are a lot lower. I was listening to somebody else saying that like gas fees were happening and it was like $300 for a transaction, which was crazy. And I'm like, nah, dog, I'm good. But if you can donate $10 and then the Red Cross sends you maybe a POAP style or something like that, I think that that would be super interesting. Because then maybe it's like, hey, in order, because you were a donor in this instance, like you go to Olive Garden the next day and Olive Garden is offering half price off of breadsticks if you donated $10 and you have that NFT, right? I think those days are probably coming. And do you know anything about this, Eric? Do you know anything about the I haven't read up on it much, but what were the NFTs that were like I think it was Olive Gardens. You could buy like an Olive Garden NFT or something like that, right?
No, I
Have you
didn't
heard
hear
about
about that.
those?
No, tell me more about it.
So I don't know too much about it, but like another guy that I know, he bought one. And it's like he bought the Olive Garden of Poughkeepsie, New York, and it was an NFT that was representative of Poughkeepsie, New York. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would have loved to grab the mic drop, one of the mic drop Pepsi NFTs that dropped. I haven't even checked to see what the floor price is recently. Um, and then here's the other interesting thing that I've seen come out that I found. There's one, if you search on Twitter, let me see if I can find it and maybe I'll pin it in the space. But if you search for on Twitter, the Worm is this interesting NFT project where it's what happens is you like, let's say for example, Eric, your buddy Justin, who's in the audience, let's say for example, Justin has a Worm NFT. Well, when the Worm NFT hits your wallet, it duplicates itself,
Oh
right?
wow.
So I think it's a free mint or something like that. So like you just have to pay for the gas transaction fee. But what happens is when the worm hits a wallet, it duplicates itself so that you can keep a worm and then you pair up with a friend of yours and you say, hey, there's this really cool thing that's happening. And it's like, it's basically invite only. And then the worm, you send the extra worm to your friend, and then your friend, it duplicates itself in your friend's wallet. And so it's just like one person at a time, one transaction at a time. That was one interesting one that I've seen. Have you seen anything like that before, Eric?
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think one of the stuff I saw that was really cool, and I don't know in the NFT space, in gaming at least, was this whole Web3 gaming technology where you have one was Wizards and Dragons that I'm in, and it was like this whole Dungeons and Dragons type like theme, which I never even played that, but and then before that it was these developers are just keep getting smarter and smarter and finding out like what works, what's not working. And so before that, it was like sheep and wolf, and they had like the everyone want you didn't the sheep was a good NFT, but you wanted the wolf because the wolf made more money. It had better like within the code. It basically took more of the wool, and they are all were trying to get as much wool as possible. And obviously, I mean, I know some people like FaZe Clan of FaZe Banks or FaZe Banks of FaZe Clan like was making just talking about how he was making just tens and tens of thousands like a day or a week on it, just by owning so many of these NFTs. And Wizards and Dragons, same thing. He got on that, and so did I. And like right now, for instance, I have a wizard in Wizards and Dragons, and you own the NFT, and now there's 43,000 of them. And as you get more GP, you get GP. I think I was getting 12,000 GP a day, and at the time it was $185 because it was a penny and a half. So I was getting 12,000. If you multiply 12,000 times a penny and a half, I was making $180 a day just by having my NFT staked. Which, to play the game, all I had to do was pay some money to stake it, and I was guarding the tower. And by guarding the tower, I made $185 a day. So that's the type of potential that is with NFTs. And I mean, now that it is less than a penny, so now it's they hit some bugs in their code, and they're having to revamp and fix the code. And that's what's happening. Is like, that's kind of what I'm trying to share, is that this place is evolving so quickly, so that even the developers are finding out, oh, hackers try to do this, or some people found a cheat in the system, and it's just ever evolving. And some of the games are as simple as staking, or as simple as making one decision a day within the blockchain, and you're earning, it's coded in to earn money per day. One cool thing, I had a call with someone who's connected to the government of Kenya, and I was talking to a friend today who is building a Wakanda-like city, and he said, Eric, he said, I love what you're doing with Kingdom Warriors. I want to find out how to build and sell rights to a city to build a Wakanda-like city today. So, I mean, and I gave him all these different ideas and strategy, and I'm probably going to be consulting with him to help him develop this thing out. They already kind of have the framework and the artwork and architecture of the different condos and the different, medical and all the different places. They already have the land. They're already working with the government out there and all the business people out there. They're just looking for how to raise even like some funds and build more awareness. And I was like, hey, NFT technology is a really good way to, one, build a community around this movement, to basically bring all the Kenyans, that is basically like, he called it like the Kenyans to come home, like all the Kenyans that he's been successful in America, and he's high up at Procter and Gamble, and he's like, basically now they're all I think he called like Nairobi or Diaby or something, where it means that you're all like how the Jews all come home to Jerusalem. He's like, this is the Kenyans all coming home, and we're going to build basically like this kingdom Wakanda like city. And yeah, I mean, he's getting all these people about it. And I was like, yeah, the best way to get right now, what I could see, he's like, I feel like this NFT technology is a key for us to build this city, and we could even sell art, so what we were even talking about is doing like Wakanda like city, a floating metaverse city, have like Marvel style music in the background to it, and then with it, everyone's going to get a plot of land in this like a quarter acre of land in the city. So like this is just kind of even what we're talking about, how it can go to physical assets and real estate. I mean, there's so much use cases. We're literally just scratching the surface of the iceberg of what is possible and what we're going to start seeing. I mean, of course, Gary Vee's already saying, hey, even Mark Cuban, who owns the Dallas Mavericks, is like, hey, we're going to start doing some with our tickets. You're going to start getting some, Dallas Maverick, Luka Doncic, cool art on your ticket one day. Like, I mean, there's going to be all sorts of stuff with NFT technology as we get the gas fees cheaper, as we make it more where it's more accessible, easier just to open your app, just like an Uber app. I mean, for Uber and Lyft, they had to get it to where it was like, wait, why am I paying $50 to get in a smelly, smoky taxi? And eventually we're like, well, I could pay $20 and ride with some guy who's giving me mints and water, and his car smells fresh. And yeah, I'll do that. Just get on my app and pay $20 to do that.
So fresh. Yes. I mean, I know that I definitely use that. I'd be curious to see if that's where part of the technology even goes one day, where it's, what if like Uber and like Lyft keeps trying to get me to sign up for I think it's like their pink club or something like that. And in Lyft, it would be like where you pay, I think it's like $10 a month or something, and you get like priority rides, that kind of thing. It could be that they might have like a pink VIP club, and it's an NFT that you buy and you hold it in your wallet. And that means that no matter where you are, you get like an upgraded Lyft, and you get front of the line priority kind of thing. And then once they create 3,000 of them, there's only 3,000. And so like there's some businessmen and women who might, if you're Lyft and you're listening to this or watching the replay and you want to take this idea, I will take a small commission or a finder's fee for this idea. But like, it could be that they mint an NFT, They sell 3,000 of them, and there's like 3,000 businessmen and women who love it. And all of a sudden and then they tell their friends about it and they're like, wait, how do I get one? Well, you can't. You got to either buy mine or buy someone else's. They go to OpenSea or wherever it is. They scrape one off the floor and then it starts climbing because it's a perk that you get with a real world business, right? Like I know that masterminds, for example, are ones that like you can buy one and you can get access to a mastermind. Then when you're done with that mastermind, if it's just an ongoing one, it's like a never ending one. Because just like entrepreneurship or just like marketing, it's a never ending cycle. But if you kind of are like, you're like, I think I'm good with this community, or I don't have time, or you change jobs, then you own an asset and you can sell it to someone else and the value is there. So I think it's just super fascinating, the different implications that are there. And I'd be down to go to Wakanda. I would love that. That would be so dope, right? Like I freaking love that movie, all those movies. That would be so fun to be able to go to Wakanda and to either like do your own thing and then fly in. I can't remember the name, T'Challa, to fly around in King T'Challa's ship and like wear the Black Panther suit or something like that. Or even if it's not extravagant at that, I think it would be super cool to support and having a different economy within the metaverse that people can then do. So that's super interesting to me. And then like, what if they throw a party in Wakanda and then there's characters, there's like like the people from the movie actually show up. And like, what if Marvel then records something and they put it into a Marvel movie or something like that? Like that would be really interesting to me.
Yeah, I would really, and I know Vive, and I'm not hating on Vive, but I feel like there's so much, like I feel like Marvel and them are just kind of like and Disney are just what do you call it, outsourcing their some of their stuff to like sell some of their comics or like different stuff. But I think there's a lot, and I think eventually some of these bigger companies like Sony, Marvel, and Disney, instead of just using Vive or just having someone just like, oh yeah, this is just a little bit of, because I feel like for them it's like this is just like a little bit of like potential and of their like brand, and it's just like you get so big, it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to not do NFTs, so they do in a way. But I feel like they're leaving a lot of meat in the bone on what their communities even want. The people who love Disney, who love Marvel. I mean, like I used to grow up always trying to get a Spider-Man comic and try to get different Spider-Man stuff, um and yeah, just like there's so many people who love all, whether it's Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, any of that stuff. Like they just yeah, they want to see more, I think, of that stuff. And so I think we're going to be seeing more of that stuff. And speaking of that, we actually just brought on a new team member who's going to be announced in our Discord tomorrow, who has worked on VFX for Guardians of the Galaxy. Speaking of Marvel, so we have two
That's
people
cool.
now who have worked with Marvel on our team. So we're really getting our own Kingdom Warriors Avengers on the map.
Yes. Yes. I love it. Well, I need Thor's hammer in like that would be so cool to like include something like that, some kind of Easter egg in the Kingdom Warriors thing. Like if you find is it Mjolnir or something like that?
Yeah, no, Thor's hammer is so dope. Honestly, that would be amazing if we can. Yeah, Nick's listening. Nick, we need a Thor's hammer, but we'll make it different. We'll put our Infinity Stones, all the jewels in our hammer, so it's a different piece.
That would be so fun. That would be so fun. Um, and the interesting thing about all of this is just the same thing. Going back to the same thing is that you're buying in once, but you have you're owning an asset, right? Like, and so owning an asset is such a great way to help someone out, and it's really community driven too. Like I was reading an article or a Twitter thread the other day that a buddy of mine shared, and it was about how someone from the very beginning planned out like the utility for like months at a time, and they're probably 6 months into it. And so I think that's one of the things that I'm really excited about for Kingdom Warriors is this big picture vision. Like you guys are in this for the long run. And I'm really, that's the reason why I joined the team, like, and dove in and was like, yeah, I want to help you guys share some Twitter Spaces, that kind of stuff. So if you're listening to this, if you're in the Discord or watching the replay, like please reach out to us and let us know, like, hey, like, did you enjoy this conversation? Is there something that you want to hear us talk about in the future? Is there something that you would like to join in the conversation in the future? And please, please, please click on the Kingdom Warriors Twitter and join the Discord, or on Facebook, YouTube, find the link that's there. There should either be a pinned link or one in the description, and join the Discord there as well. Because even just last night, I think we kicked off and we did a clubhouse room, Eric, and we were at like 1,957, I think, warriors that were in the Discord, and now we've hit over 2,000, which is really exciting. And so to have people rally around this idea, like, hey, let's create a space where we can all have fun together because we're playing a game. You can earn King tokens, and then you can use it for real world merch. You can use it on ETH, which, by the way, I keep forgetting. I got to log into my Kingdom Warriors app again. I did it in the middle of Clubhouse last night, and I got to do it in the middle of the Twitter Spaces tonight because I keep remembering in the middle of this.
Nice. And shout out to Google listener in the comments. Raise your hand if you wanna come up, Google listener.
Yeah, the Google fan. I saw them there also. And so I think the other thing that I was excited about specifically for the future of NFTs is really music. So this is an idea that I don't know if anyone out there is a music lover or a musician. I'm not a musician. I do corporate DJ and events as well, and I'm primarily an MC, and but I do a lot of DJing for like my boss, for example, for some of the events where I'm not on the microphone in front of it. And I had this idea, like, what if, because obviously there's some musicians that are minting their songs as NFTs. What if there was a platform like Spotify where you can curate as a DJ a playlist? And if you do a great job at it, and you're an influencer, or maybe you're a someone who's like just a popular person, and you're a great DJ, and you can create these really great playlists for these great moments. Like if you create a really great wedding dance floor playlist, like let's get the party started, and it's a bunch of songs that are all NFTs. And what if the NFTs then got the musician money, and you as the curator of that playlist were paid because people were basically licensing. They bought an NFT for their wedding, and then they basically got a license for it. Like, I think that would be a pretty dope idea. Like, sign me up. Yes.
Dude, okay, so that is actually really dope. I feel like, let us know if you guys want Sean and I to do like even a NFT podcast where we do like once a week, just like interview some of the coolest people in the space, and like just do like some sort of like just brainstorming on all the possibilities. People are going to start coming to Sean and I's podcast, all the musicians and the Marvels, and they're like, wait, why have we not done this? We need to come here for our strategic advice.
Well, I feel like it might have to be like a once every 6 month, because that's about how often I have a good idea. So
no, that's not true. No, okay. So you just reminded me. So we who was I talking to? So like this is cool that we're talking about the future of NFTs and use case, because so the whole Kenya type government Wakanda land thing came up that you'll probably see that in the future. It's going to be something cool. But another one that came up was oh yeah, so I was talking to another company that turns trash into treasure, and they were going to do like this Wally style NFT launch with Wally style, and they're literally going to launch a token that's turning that's like they're paying people to start taking out the trash around the world, and it's like going to be they want to make it the philanthropy coin. Don't want to tell you guys too much about it because it's still like underground, but so that's one.
Very
and
alpha, very alpha.
Very alpha. And then another one I was talking to trying to think. Maybe talk I forgot about the other one I was thinking of that I wanted to share of just our use case. Yeah, go talk about some other use cases, and I can't even remember which one it was for.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I was watching. My daughter is big into like science YouTube videos, and she's 4. But some of the stuff that she watches is kind of interesting. Like, I know that there was a big YouTube, like the YouTuber community rallied around cleaning up the oceans. I think it was like a whole month this past year in 2021. And if you know what I'm talking about, shout it out in the Kingdom Warriors Discord. But there is a nonprofit that has these. It's like this machine that they put. What they found is that trash in a lot of countries gets washed down into the river, and then from the river it gets into the ocean, and it's clogging up a lot of it's plastic. It's just floating on the surface. The paper and stuff will get wet. It'll disintegrate. It'll biodegrade, but the plastic is just getting washed out into the ocean, but it starts in the rivers. And so they put these basically like a filter. It's this giant machine that's solar powered. And it just runs like 24/7. Like, it charges the batteries and it runs, and the river floats the plastic down, and then it fills up these bins, and then they take the bins to the recycling. And that's super cool. Well, what if they sold NFTs like that, and they had some kind of utility? I don't know. You'd have to come up with the utility on your own, but it built more machines. I feel like people would really be really be behind that, because here's the other thing about the reason why I think that nonprofits should get into NFTs is a lot of people, they give and they give and they give and they give, and then they just kind of forget about it. But the great thing about NFTs is, even if you sell it and there's no utility, if it's just a memento, and if you give $10,000, we'll give you this NFT, and then that person is forever going to have that NFT in their wallet. They're probably not going to sell it because there's not really any utility behind it. But 10 years from now, they can go back and they can look at their wallet, they can pull it up, and they can say, "Hey, like, check this out. How dope is this?" So they can basically like look at it and say, "I remember when we were at that event. I remember like the emotion that I had giving the $10,000, and maybe it has been a while since they've donated to that nonprofit, right?" Like, it's just kind of a really cool thing to think about.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the next wave is music, nonprofits. What I love about the NFT community is they're very charitable, and I think that this comes with the art community's vibe. Because if you know, like if you think about artists, you think about like starving artists or artists who are they're like very amazing at drawing, painting, but they're like it's almost like it's like, well, how are they supposed to make money doing that? It's like unless you're Banksy selling $1 million, or now it's like Beeple selling over $1 million pieces of art, or these people who you sell $1 million pieces of art, and you're like, who are these people? Or like, who are even these wealthy billionaires who are buying $1 million plus pieces of art? And that world is very charitable. I mean, even some people don't like the super mega rich, but they do give a lot of money away, and some of it they can give like they can give $10 million away, and it actually saves the money or makes the money. So it's like it with the way the tax law is written, you can if you're making 100 million a year, you can give 10 million a year, and it's like I either would have given it to a corrupt government or I would have given it to my favorite charities. I'd rather give it to my favorite charities. And so that's how like some of these wealthy people think. And so I think it kind of stems in that, even though the art NFT community, they may not all obviously be that rich, but they have the heart to give back. And that's something cool that we're even helping. If you can go to our charity tab in Discord, you'll see we're pretty much every dollar that is put into our NFTs, Kingdom Warriors. Of course, you're going to get all sorts of the goodness that we're doing, but we're also committing 10% of all of our revenue to our businesses to charity. And one of the charities we partnered with for this specific launch is Precious Kids Foundation, where she lost her father, like her brother, two brothers, all to like illnesses in Uganda that could have been treated if they would have had like medical treatment. And so like her story is really, really amazing. She ended up, even with that past, she ended up, becoming like a neuroscientist, and, just through her own, just what I guess her own strength and everything has gone through so much. And now she's raising money in America, doing speaking events. Manny, our app developer, has spoken at many of her events here in the States. and he recommended with her. They shot as a video on Christmas Day with some of their kids. You can see their kids. They just got donated a piece of land there in Uganda. We're going to help them build, get medical supplies for those kids, and also, just help make sure they have food, medical supplies, and even put money towards a medical facility, so they don't have to. They have to right now go like an hour away if they have like any more of the serious stuff. So yeah, I mean that's a use case of an NFT. Like if we wouldn't have had a community like this that is so amazing, like all the Kingdom Warriors, we have a community of 2,000 right now and growing. And if we didn't have a community of people who didn't believe in putting their money towards a play to earn game, towards amazing art, towards a future book, and towards helping people in Africa, like then we couldn't even do that and make that happen.
Yeah, I think that that's super interesting in of itself, right? Like um the way that people, one thing you said sparked something in my mind. Like if you can make the right, like if the right person in a community becomes wealthy, the entire community is going to benefit. I'll
Yeah.
say that again because it's such a simple thing that I hadn't thought of before. If the right person in a community becomes wealthy, the entire community is going to be benefit because the right person is going to be generous. The right person is going to spend their money wisely. The right person is going to invest back in the community. And that's why I like earlier I was listening to someone else talk about just NFTs, and I think we were talking about like rug pulls earlier, right?
Hmm.
I was listening to one that was that, and they were talking about one that's happened recently, and how it was like what to look out for to avoid a rug pull, and people were tossing around ideas, and the interesting thing is I've heard some projects that were a rug pull make a comeback because the community rallied and were like, no, we're not going to let this happen to us. Like, let's not be victims here. Let's have a different mindset and let's change something. Now, of course, like not everybody can do that. Not everybody has that thing. So that's an example of like the wrong people becoming wealthy. They just kind of ran away with the ether, the money that was made. They ripped out the liquidity from the fund, and then they just ran away with it. Well, if the right person becomes wealthy, they're going to invest it back in the community because, and I've been hearing this a lot also, like when the tide rises, all ships rise as well, right? So what if we all rise together? And I think that takes the right person. It takes the right project. It takes a lot of different things. And so that's one of the things that I'm really interested in, is because who knows in the future what great projects and what great ideas people don't have, but they have access to a computer and they have access to their friends, and they're just going to start to build a community in a Discord, and then eventually they launch their own project, right? So it's just kind of organic and natural growth. And I think that there's something really beautiful in that. Like, yeah, it's great to try to get in and be the lucky person in a mint of 10,000 and it sells out in 3 minutes. Like that's okay. But there's also like the organic growth. And so that's why I think that there's a lot of sleeper projects out there that we're going to be really surprised in the long run, because there are people that are so passionate about their project.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're right. I think I kind of got some fatigue because I just saw so much of these projects pumping, and if you look at the a lot of NFTs, there you see a lot of bots and you see a lot of fake followers and influencers posting and paying for tweets and retweets and all this stuff, and it's just like it can kind of get overwhelming, and you can't really see through the facade of what's fake and what's not, because all you see is fake tweets, fake likes, fake followers, and numbers and bots in the Discord. And so be on the watch out for that. um Try to watch the stream, or the even like the numbers of like online versus whatever, and you can kind of tell sometimes. But anyways, I just saw a lot of marketing even done for some of these projects that weren't that good, and I even talked to some marketing like agency type people, and they're like, yeah, these projects that are complete crap, complete no vision, no like no roadmap, no plan. They're literally spending $180,000 to market these 10,000 these 10,000 not person 10,000 NFT launches, which is basically 10,000 separate NFTs charging, anywhere from $300 to $500. And it's like they're literally just spending 180 grand just to try to sell that out. And so you just be on the lookout. Really, just yeah. So I got a lot of fatigue from that, because it was just like, all right, what's real, what's not real, like what projects do I really want to support? And you're right. I mean, the projects that are really cool, a lot of times they are pretty organic in ways that they're just a lot of passion, a lot of cool community, a lot of people coming together with, just like-minded, and they have common goals, like whether it's to impact, like you said, like build a community in Africa, whether it's to help orphans, or whether it's to help widows, or we want to help educate, the next generation in Web3. And I think a lot of those communities are going to be sleeper projects, but as long as they stay consistent and they build niche NFT communities and they build this stuff, they're going to go far, because they're just honing in on their community, honing in on how can they serve those people groups. How can you serve people who have ADD? How can you serve people who are suicidal? How can you serve people that are like filled with anxiety and depression? One of the things that we really care about, I've had like a sister-in-law commit suicide like a year or 2 years ago, and then even a cousin even more recent. And I just like, I have a heart for the next generation to have hope and identity, and just know that they have purpose in their lives. So Kingdom Warriors, one of the big messages is we want to shine light on having a place where the gaming community, the NFT community can come, and they'll always hear from my staff and the people that are employed with us that are there around the clock to talk to you, to talk in live chat. We have a mental health channel where we're just talking about life, and there's always someone to just see how are you today. You got Taz from South Africa who will greet you, Aurelio from Dallas, Luca and Light Warrior from the Philippines. You have people around the clock who is like, hey, how are you doing today? How's it going? Hey, yeah. And sometimes it will be kind of simple, and we have like a creed where we're just like called the Warriors Way, where we're just talking about even taking responsibility, but also just just also just encouraging. We stay together, we stick together. One of the things I learned in the Army was, having battle buddy, and you always have to have at least one battle buddy. You always want accountability, and it's not always accountability for, you to get in trouble or anything, but it's just to keep, to be like, hey, like, how are you really doing? Keep watch each other's back, make it, because I mean, the world, as you guys know, the world is full of lies, and full of people who are, some people will even hurt you. Your friends will, they say hurt people. So some of the people who hurt you, it's really because they're hurting. Maybe they're bullied, maybe they were, so you can even have love for them, but you don't want to accept lies that people speak to you as real. So anyways, that's a solution I've seen in the NFT space that I think is something that is, worth noting, and just worth, I think a lot of NFT people are interested in even giving towards causes like that.
I love it, man. Oh, I gotta unmute myself on Twitter Spaces also. Well, dude, this is awesome. I think that's a fantastic last word that we can shut down the show with. But if you're watching the replay on YouTube or on Facebook, thank you so much for sticking around with us the whole time. Shout out to everyone in Twitter Spaces. We've got Cynthia there, we've got Nicholas, and we've got the Google lover there. Google lover 8 is a great number. I wonder who's got Google lover 1 through 7 on Twitter. I know that I should probably sign up for Google lover 2000 or 21,975 because I am also. Well, Eric, anything else?
Yeah, no, we're here for you guys. Shout out to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all the Kingdom Warriors out there. You guys are, full of potential, full of greatness inside. We're excited for you guys to come in Kingdom Chat, and just talk about Talk about what is your hero's journey. Tell us about your hero's journey. Tell us about the, as you're going through life, and yeah, just going through the trials that life goes through. Let us do battle with you. Let us do win the war with you. And yeah, we're excited for the future.
Dope. Well, man, this was so fun. And with that, we're going to shut the space down. Let's do it. We're closing it. We're killing the feed. We're shutting it down. I hope everyone has a great night. We'll see you guys later. And how do I end this thing? I don't know if the co-host can. There it goes. It's done.
All right, that one's done. All right, everyone, YouTube, Facebook, you guys, peace. Thank you guys. See you guys on the next stream. Peace. Let us know if you're watching the replay.